So here we go. So since I'm recording, y'all, we're gonna try our best to keep on task and not talk about random stuff, okay? Because I gotta make this for my kiddos who can't make it here. No, absolutely never. Okay? Never. All right, here we go. So we're gonna label number 1. So go ahead and label number 1. This is a oil pastel on your piece of newsprint. Techniques, okay? So at the top of the page, you can put oil pastel techniques. Yeah, the flimsy one, yes. This is our practice sheet. We'll be using these techniques on our assignment, our project coming up today. All right, is there glare? I'm gonna try to adjust the settings here so y'all can see. The difficulty thing is if I adjust it too much, you won't be able to see the color changes on here, so I kind of have to. I'm going to label what you need to write on here, so as long as you can see this, you should be good, okay? Okay, so oil pastel techniques, number 1. So what the handout says is in the boxes below, you'll use 2 primary colors and blend them in the middle to create a secondary color. So we're going to go ahead and make 3 boxes here, okay, like that. And you're going to label primary on the outsides and secondary on the inside. We're going to access some prior knowledge here. Who can remember some primary colors? Red and blue. Okay, great. So we're going to put red on the outside, and as you color this red, you're going to just kind of give some light pressure to fill the box in a couple of layers. And when you put down the oil pastel, I want you to think of some adjectives that would describe what oil pastel feels like. What does it feel like? It feels oily, smooth, great. Those are good. Okay, so we've got red on the outside and blue on the outside. Oh, you're going to need a paper towel. I totally forgot. So we're going to get some paper towel in just a second here if you haven't already gotten it. Red and blue on the outsides, because those are 2 primary colors. And then as we go to the middle here, we're going to go 50-50. See, the first, I did kind of almost like 2 layers to create that fullness of the box. So this time I'm going to do 50% pressure in the middle. So you see a little bit of the paper through, right? And then I'm going to do 50% pressure with the red. And guess what I'm going to get? Yes, purple. And so just like we used colored pencils, layers, right? Layers. Just like when we use colored pencils, we're using layers to create our colors. And if you do a good job of layering up slowly, guess what you don't have to use? Guess what you don't have to use to blend? If you don't have to use a paper towel, or even worse, if you do a good job of layering up, you also don't have to use your finger. So the reason you have the paper towel is so that you can clean off your oil pastels. Because as you mix with your oil pastels, they will get dirty, right? And the easy way, oh, put that away. The easy way, you need something else? Everything you have is right here in front of you. I'm going to follow them along. Thank you. Yeah? But you're not following along. Oh my God. Every day? I'm going to Mr. Worley on this, man.
Damn. She just put you on the spot, bro.
Alright, here we go.
How do you feel about that?
So now you're gonna clean your actual pastel. Like, you know, I put the blue and I put the red, and now the blue has a little bit of red on it, and the red has a little bit of blue on it. The actual pastel, right? I'm missing the yellow back with the paper towels on the paper towels. So we use it to actually just like wipe off our pastel because I don't need them. So here we go.
Who is that?
Okay.
He's not well known.
Well, he's new here to see.
She's not well known.
You hear him on the announcement sometimes. Thank you. Okay, guys. So we're moving on here. So when I add a primary, once again, we get a secondary. Look, see, my pastel is kind of dirty. So I'm going to go take my paper towel, and I'm going to clean it off. Okay? Nice, clean pastels. All right, number two. Number two. It says in the first box, add white to a color to make a tint, and the second box, make an even lighter tint of the same color. So we're going to do 2 boxes here. 2 boxes. And you're going to write on the first one, first tint. Uh-oh. And then lighter tint. That's great. I like it when you move up there because that way you can see.
I'm like right here. That's that first tint. Any color?
So any color plus white, right? Any color plus white is a tint. So I'm just going to use some green here. Again, like we're putting we want to layer up slowly. Never just put, I don't want to say never, but try to get in the habit of putting some lighter pressure as you fill the box and filling it like with multiple layers, because that's going to help you be better at blending. Okay, so I've got my layer of oil pastel here. And then in order for me to make a tint, I'm going to put some light pressure of white on top. Okay, so I just started with my green, and then I've just added a little bit of white on top. So then I'm going to do a lighter tint. So on my next one, I'm going to go ahead and fill the box again with green. I'm going to fill, right, and because I'm making a lighter tint this time, once I fill my box with green, I'm going to add even more white. Okay? And you guys, we're following along. I'm not just doing a show we're following along. This is not dinner and a show, we're following along. Okay? So this is just my regular green. Now I'm adding a lighter tint to it. So I've got to go a little harder or more layers of the white. Because remember, tint is color plus white. So instead of just 1 layer of white, I might do 2 layers of white. It doesn't matter what color you use, guys. It doesn't matter on this one what color you use. Right? First box, you just add white to a color, and second box, you make an even lighter tint of the same color. It doesn't matter what color you use as long as one's lighter than the other. Okay. So just shows, yes, if you use the green, it does look like toothpaste. Just shows that one of them, if you put multiple layers of white, will be lighter. That's all. All right. Are we ready for number 3? No? Okay.
I think I'm mixing my.
We are following along on the piece of newsprint. Well, that's fine. You gotta clean it off, right? I love oil pastel. There's some things I love about oil pastels. They're really easy to blend colors if you get it right. You can get really bright, bold colors. But one thing that kind of bothers me about oil pastels is that you can't get really, really super small, fine details. It's like kind of hard to. We're going to have lots of practice with oil pastel soon. So for this next one, you're just going to make one long skinny box. Okay? If you mess up, how do you think you can erase oil pastel? No, yeah, you can't. What would you say, Ray? No. There's really, it's kind of like with colored pencil. How could you erase colored pencil? It's okay, it's not like colored pencil in that way. The only way that we can do colored pencil is like, remember when we had to scratch up the first layer of colored pencil? So really the only way, and you can never really erase it all the way, but like say I messed up and I wanted to lay down some more white, I could scrape through my first layer here, you know, and then go back and fix it, right? It won't ever go all the way back to the paper, but see, I'm kind of scraping it up. And I can go back and lay the color down. So, I mean, you can't really 100% erase it. That's the other thing. Okay, moving on. Number 3. We're going to do a warm color. It's a smooth blend. Smooth blend with warm colors. Okay? Smooth blend with warm colors. So y'all need to give me some warm colors to use. Oh, there. Okay, I heard orange. What else? Red, great. So these are warm colors. These are also analogous colors. They're next to each other on the color wheel. So our goal here is to blend from one to the other, okay? So just like with colored pencil, we have to apply some different levels of pressure to get them to blend in smoothly. So on the end here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put like a decent amount of pressure here. Smooth blend with warm colors. So we're going to go with a decent amount of pressure on the end, and then as I get towards the middle third and the middle half, I'm going to go real light with my color. And then on the right side, same thing. I'm going to go a little heavier on the end, and as I get towards the middle half and middle third, I'm going to go light with my color, and I'm going to let them just overlap each other. Okay, so that's the first layer. You see how they blended into each other right in the middle? So now that's my first layer. My second layer is going to help me get the colors to really blend. You know, I think about that movie, that Adam Sandler movie, Blended, with they got Drew Barrymore, and they got two blended families, and Terry Crews is always in the background going, "We are blending." Okay, that's what we're doing here. We are blending. So first layer is kind of low pressure, just getting them to kind of get to know each other. Second layer, like they're really becoming a family, okay? They're getting mixed together, and this is how you can do this with, so this is a great way, if you get like a nice, really good at layering these, you don't have to use your finger to get these to blend. You can do it with just the actual pastel. You get really good at this. Because, you know, some people just like love to use their fingers for blending, but I think it's gross with oil pastels. Because you get like oil all over your fingers. It's kind of gross. But if you love blending with your fingers, I'm not going to judge you. But I will say I am a don't blend with your finger evangelist. I try to get you to learn how to blend it without using your finger. Okay. So first layer is putting the color down. Second layer is getting them to really become family. Third layer is perfecting. I go back over it and I look for areas that maybe need more red or need more orange. My goal is to get these to just turn into the other color rather than having lines, okay? See, on this first one, we had lines in between them. The second one is a smooth transition. It's a gradient. All right, how are we doing out there? This one's hard to do. You've got to kind of learn how to pressure and layer, okay? You got to learn how to pressure and layer. So lighten up on your pressure, okay? Be gentle with the pastel, and it will respond to you better. Yes, barely touch. Yes, exactly. Barely touch the paper at first until you get to know it a little bit, you know? Okay. Number 4. This is going to be a same kind of box. Same kind of box. And it'll be a smooth blend with cool colors. Okay, so let's pick some cool colors. Cool colors, yeah, what are some cool colors? We got blue, and what else? Somebody said purple. Yeah, purple can be, it's right on the middle there. It can be either cool or warm. So we'll go ahead and use purple and blue because they're cool. They're very cool sunglasses emoji, okay? Here we go. On the end, again, barely touching the paper, right? Barely touching the paper. So I'm going to try to move this light so it doesn't have a shadow every time let's do this. Maybe that's better. Okay. No. So again, barely touching the paper. On the end, you're going to layer up to a nice heavy, almost heavy on the ends. And then as you get to the middle, really light. Really light. You see how that looks? See, I'm just being gentle with my oil pastel. Don't smush it into the paper. You can layer up slowly. Learn to, you know, be a little bit subtle, right? Okay. And then on the other side, same thing, layering up until we got a nice amount of oil pastel on the edges. And then as we go towards the middle, lighter, 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 lighter as they overlap. Okay, don't press it down. Then you're gonna do another layer. So first layer, they get to know each other just a little bit. Second layer, they become family. So we're gonna go ahead and blend. I'm really not liking the shadow. You can't see anything I'm doing. Let me get this on the other side here. You know what? I'm gonna try the lamp on here. Let's do that. Whee! Let's do the lamp. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, so yellow can be either cool or warm as well. It's right in the middle. Okay, it's right in the middle. Yeah, it can be cool or warm. If you look, you see that yellow green right there, that line between the yellow green and the yellow and the blue violet and the violet? That is kind of that line that creates warm and cool. So if you did yellow, that's fine. So second layer is to get them to really start blending. Third layer is perfecting. So now I'm starting to fill the grain of the paper and really get them to just like look like they blend into one another. So see, like minimum 3 layers when you're trying to get colors to blend smoothly. Okay? All right, number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Am I? I'm so sorry. I'll slow down. I'll give you a minute to catch up. Y'all freaking out over here. Sorry. Okay, well, let's look at what they could look like here so far. This is where we are so far. I'll back it up. This is a great time to just see what we've done. Okay? So number 1 was primary, primary, secondary. Number 2 was a light tint and then a lighter tint. Number 3 was a smooth blend with warm colors. Number 4 was a smooth blend with cool colors. All right? My bad. I had a little too much coffee, okay? Thank you for your feedback. Well, you didn't bring it. You don't have a good coffee hookup, I guess. Coffee is delicious. Don't lie. All right, we ready for number 5 now? Number 5. We're making a box again. Okay, now the instructions say use your finger to blend 2 complementary colors to create a neutral color in the middle. Do you think I want you to use your finger? It says you can, so I guess if you want to, you can, but I'm not going to because I feel like that's gross. So, you're a rule follower. Hey, what are some complementary colors? Complementary colors? Orange and blue. That's a good set. Okay, let's get some orange and blue out here. All right, got some orange and some blue. All right, on the ends, we're going to go layer 1. Shh. I know why y'all are slow, because you're talking too much. Well, let's monotask. Let's monotask. Just till we get to the end of this. Okay, orange on the end. Layer, layer, layer. What's going to happen in the middle? What's going to happen in the middle, remember? It's good. Well, I'm glad that you said that, Brayden. If we had a perfect set of colors that showed perfect primaries, it would be black. So the actual real primary colors out there are CMY, which is cyan, magenta, and yellow. And when you mix cyan, magenta, and yellow, they do make black. That's why in your printer, if you ever look at, if you have a printer, you look at printer ink, it says CMYK, K is black. Okay, CMY, cyan, magenta, and yellow create black. But in this case, because we're not in a perfect world, the blue and the cyan and the yellow and the magenta, the yellow and the red that make the orange aren't perfect, so they're going to make a brown. Okay, blue and orange make a brown. And y'all remember when we did our eye drawings earlier this year, and we used the complement to create a shadow? Yeah, you're right. It creates a deeper tone of the color, and it usually is not like something that we don't usually pick that as our favorite color, right? That's not usually what we pick as our favorite color, but it is a good shadow color. If I was creating like an orange, say I was drawing a picture of an orange. Say I was drawing a drawing of an orange and I needed a shadow color. This color right here might be a nice shadow color for me so that I didn't just use black. I use some darker tone. Yeah, it does. It's a neutral tone. Okay, so on this one we're going to put blend 2 complementary colors. Okay, yes, you have to label them. Blend 2 complementary colors. Okay. Yeah. All right, number 6. Blend 2 complementary colors. I'm going to zoom in on this for you. All right. All right, number 6 is going to be blending 2 warm colors together using stippling. Y'all remember stippling? What's stippling? Yeah, it's the dots. Stippling is the dots. And some artists, they use stippling for their whole artwork. It's called pointillism. But we're not those crazy artists. But either way, well, if you wanted to, you could. It's actually kind of fun. Either way, though, in this case, when we create a blend, what's happening here to create that color difference? What's happening here is when we put those colors right next to each other, our eyes will blend them together as we move away. And that's called optical blending. And so this is just another way to create changes in color just by placing them in proximity to one another. It's very similar to when we chose when we use pencil or pen and we did stippling to create value changes, like the proximity of the dots next to one another, how close or far apart together they were, created value changes. Same thing with color. If I put colors really close to each other, then your eye will blend them. Okay, so we're going to pick some warm colors here because this is stippling to blend warm colors. Okay, and by the way, this is a stress relief technique, but I want you, if you're going to stipple and you're going to be very violent about it, then hold the pastel closer to the tip rather than the end because you'll break it. So hold it closer here when you're stippling. Stipple. Just making some dots to blend the color. So I'm going to go ahead and put my red down. Stippling to blend warm colors. Stippling to blend warm colors. Okay, so I got my red down here, and I'm going to go ahead and put my orange down. That's another warm color. Yeah, I'm sorry, my handwriting isn't super great. You're going to put them right next to each other. By the way, yeah, if you have blue on your orange still, it's going to mess with your colors, right? You got to clean those oil pastels up regularly. Yeah, I don't like stippling that much either. It's not my favorite. Does anybody out there like stippling? Some of us we just like hearing the little dots, right? But I don't know. I'm not a fan of stippling either. All right. Again, I'm recording this so that hopefully I can post this to the classroom for those of you that haven't picked up your oil pastels. You are going to need oil pastels for the project, so you will need to get with me if you haven't gotten them. All right. Yeah, we might be pushing a little too hard. So hold it closer to the tip of the pastel, like this, right? And then you just kind of dot it. Okay? All right. If yours is coming out pink, it's because you left the blue on your orange pastel. You didn't clean it off. It was on the red? What did we use with red last time? I don't know. We used blue. Oh, that's weird. I don't know what's happening there then. Okay, number 7. So another box. And number 7 is blend. Blend. I'm hearing stippling over there. Y'all done? Blend 2 cool colors with scumbling. Okay, so we're going to use scumbling to blend 2 cool colors. Anybody remember what scumbling is? Somebody said line. What kind of line? I think that you might be referring to hatching or cross hatching. Okay, that's straight lines, but scumbling is what kind of lines? Anybody remember? Wiggly lines. Yeah, it's basically little scribbles, right? So both of these are great. Both of these are great for creating texture when you're shading. So let's pick some cool colors. I'm gonna pick this yellow green and this blue here for my scumble. Okay, and here I am. I'm just gonna create some little scribbles here to get them to blend. So I'm starting off with a light scribble of blue, and then I'm going to do some scribbling of the yellow orange, the yellow green. And as I scribble, both their proximity and also the fact that the oil is being dragged around will change the color. So I'm going to do multiple layers of this yellow, green, and this blue, because I'm doing some cool colors with scumbling. All right, cool colors. That was a really easy one. Okay, number 8. I won't move on yet. I feel, Antonio, I don't know if it's that you're too hard on yourself or what. I feel like it might be you're too hard on yourself. It really literally is just scribbling 2 colors on top of each other. I think that you are maybe being too hard on yourself. Okay, are we ready for number 8? So number 8, we're going to make 2 boxes. 2 boxes. Oh boy, y'all, we're gonna have like a little stretch break after this, and we got to move right on. We got more. Oh yeah, you're right. Sometimes my 8s look real ugly. There it is. Thank you. Okay, so this one is going to be Sgraffito. So we're going to do Sgraffito. Sgraffito, y'all remember Sgraffito? What is Sgraffito? We've used this before. Do y'all remember? Light over dark. Okay, and then we're going to do Sgraffito. Sgraffito. Dark over light. Okay, and this word Sgraffito is a fancy one. It's an Italian word, so you can get on your Vespa, you can put your little scarf on, and you can flip your hair once you know what this word means, okay? Sgraffito means to scratch. So what we're going to do is on this first one, we're going to put a layer, and this time you get to press hard, okay, on the second layer. So the first layer, you're going to put a dark color. So I'm going to pick a dark color. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna pick the purple actually. If you want to pick black, that's fine. But I'm gonna put a nice good layer, a nice heavy layer of my dark color. Yeah, I'm putting purple, but if you choose black, that's fine. That's fine. Blue's fine too. Okay, and then it says to put a light color on top of that. So I'm gonna pick the pink. Okay, and this time I'm gonna do a nice heavy layer of pink right on top of the purple. Heavy, heavy. Okay, Antonio, this is your time to shine. Heavy, heavy. Okay. And then I'm going to take something to scratch a design into that. So if you've got like a nice pointy fingernail or you got like the end of your pencil, you can scratch on top of that. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to scratch a design into that. Okay. Yeah, just on top of that. Now, what should happen is you should be able to see the dark color underneath, but for whatever reason, I don't ever quite see that happen with my light over dark. It usually shows up way better on the dark over light. And so on this one, we're going to go ahead and pick a light color on the right-hand side. So you see that? We're going to pick a light color on the right-hand side and cover it with a dark one and do the same thing. Okay? So, okay, I'm going to do the light color is going to be yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and put some yellow down. Okay, and I'm going to go heavy with my yellow. And then with my light color, that's my light color. And then you said you want black for the dark color? So I'm going to go ahead and put the black right on top of it, nice heavy. Okay, if you want to use purple, you can use purple, that's fine. And then same thing as last time, we're going to go ahead and scrape some designs into here. And see, this time it's a lot easier to see that color underneath. Yeah, you can scrape it with your nail or like the end of a pencil or like a paper clip or get it in your nail. I know it's gross, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's number 8, Sgraffito. So just as a quick review, this is the whole sheet. This is the whole sheet. You've got 8 techniques for oil pastel. You can go ahead and photograph this and turn it in. Okay, so this is pre-art project. You're right. We're going to be using these techniques on our project that we'll be starting today. So we can go ahead and turn the lights on if you'd like. Somebody can get the lights for me. That way y'all can get these turned in. Okay. Thank you.